Hello, my dear friends. Today I want to share something close to my heart. Wisdom for those walking through one of life's most challenging seasons. When we lose our life companion after 60, we face not only the profound ache of grief, but also critical decisions that can determine our well-being for years to come. Nature teaches us that every season has its purpose, and even in winter's deepest cold, life continues beneath the surface, preparing for spring. Your grief season, though painful, also holds potential for growth and renewal if navigated with wisdom. Today, I'm sharing 5 essential truths that can protect your health, finances, and future during this vulnerable time. Before we continue, I'd love to invite you to be part of our caring community. If these insights resonate with you, please take a moment to leave a comment, sharing your thoughts. Hit that subscribe button to join our family of health-conscious viewers, and share this message with someone who might benefit. Your engagement helps us reach more people who need this vital information. The body's natural healing processes are remarkable, but grief can disrupt these systems in ways that affect every aspect of our well-being. When we understand how loss impacts our physical and emotional health, we can make choices that support restoration rather than create additional harm. Just as a broken bone requires weeks to mend properly, your mind needs adequate time to process profound loss before making life-altering choices. The stress hormones flooding your system during acute grief, cortisol, adrenaline, and others, literally change how your brain functions. Decision-making centers become compromised, and what seems logical in the fog of loss may prove deeply regrettable when clarity returns. Consider Eleanor, a vibrant 9-year-old who lost her husband after 45 years of marriage. Within 2 months, she sold their beloved family home, moved states to be near her daughter, and liquidated retirement accounts to purchase a smaller property. She told herself these were practical decisions, but her body was still in survival mode, not thinking mode. 8 months later, Eleanor deeply regretted these hasty choices. She missed her community, her doctor, her familiar routines. The financial penalties from early withdrawal had cost her thousands. Most painfully, she realized she'd made these decisions from panic, not wisdom. The nervous system requires approximately 12 months to recalibrate after significant trauma. This isn't arbitrary, it's biological. Your adrenal glands, which have been in overdrive, need time to restore balance. Your sleep cycles need to normalize. Your digestive system needs to recover from stress-induced changes. Financial predators understand this vulnerability window all too well. They target the newly bereaved with urgency tactics, knowing that grief clouds judgment. Whether it's investment schemes, insurance salespeople, or even well-meaning relatives suggesting immediate changes. Remember this: wisdom never demands haste. Nature's principle applies here. Just as seeds planted too early in spring may not survive unexpected frost, decisions made too early in grief often cannot withstand the changing seasons of your healing journey. Human connection isn't merely emotional comfort. It's biological medicine. When we withdraw completely from others, we disrupt fundamental healing processes that our bodies depend upon for recovery. Research reveals that social isolation triggers the same stress response as physical pain. Your immune system weakens, inflammation increases, blood pressure rises, and even cognitive function declines. The very isolation that seems protective actually amplifies the physical damage of grief. Take Robert, age 73, who after losing his wife stopped answering phones, declined dinner invitations, and avoided his usual coffee shop visits. He convinced himself he needed solitude to process his pain. Within 3 months, he developed frequent infections, his arthritis worsened, and his memory began failing, not because of age, but because isolation had compromised his body's natural repair mechanisms.
The human nervous system is designed for connection. When we're around others, our heart rate variability improves, stress hormones decrease, and healing hormones like oxytocin increase.
Even silent companionship, sitting quietly with a friend, walking together without speaking, provides measurable health benefits. This doesn't mean forcing yourself into large gatherings before you're ready. Small steps matter enormously. Answer one phone call. Accept one brief visit. Sit on your porch where neighbors might wave. These simple acts send signals to your nervous system that you're safe, supported, and not alone in your suffering. Consider joining others who understand your journey. Grief support groups provide validation that your feelings are normal while offering the healing presence of shared experience. Your local community center, library, or place of worship likely offers such gatherings. Remember, seeking support demonstrates strength, not weakness. Your loved one would want you surrounded by care, not suffering in solitude.
Grief creates a perfect storm of conditions that can rapidly destroy your health if ignored.
The stress response triggered by loss affects every system in your body. Cardiovascular, immune, digestive, nervous, and endocrine systems all suffer under the burden of prolonged emotional trauma. Many widowed individuals stop preparing proper meals, skip medications, avoid exercise, and postpone medical appointments. Some feel guilty caring for themselves, as if self-neglect honors their spouse's memory. This thinking is not only false but dangerous. Studies show that losing a spouse increases your risk of heart attack by 21% in the first month alone. Immune function drops significantly, making you susceptible to infections and illnesses. Sleep patterns become disrupted, affecting everything from memory to metabolism. Blood pressure often spikes and diabetes management becomes more difficult. Consider Margaret, 71, who stopped cooking after her husband's passing. She survived on crackers, canned soup, and whatever neighbors brought. Within 2 months, she'd lost dangerous amounts of weight, felt constantly exhausted, and couldn't concentrate. When her daughter insisted she start eating properly again, even without appetite, Margaret's energy slowly returned and her mood stabilized. Your body needs specific support during grief. Focus on simple, nourishing foods, fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and clean water. Even when appetite is poor, small frequent meals maintain blood sugar stability and provide essential nutrients for healing. Movement remains crucial, though it may look different now. A daily walk, gentle stretching, or simple gardening provides multiple benefits, improves circulation, better sleep, mood enhancement, and the grounding effect of connecting with nature. Don't postpone medical care. This is precisely when your body needs professional monitoring. Blood pressure, blood sugar, medication management, and routine screenings become even more important during high-stress periods. Your mental health deserves equal attention. Grief can trigger clinical depression, anxiety disorders, and cognitive changes.
Professional counseling provides tools for processing loss while protecting your emotional well-being.
Loneliness after losing your life companion can feel unbearable, creating intense pressure to fill the void quickly. However, entering romantic relationships before processing your grief often leads to additional heartache and poor choices that complicate your healing journey. The emotional hunger left by loss can make anyone seem like salvation from pain. But relationships built on desperation rather than genuine readiness rarely provide the lasting comfort people seek. Instead, they often create confusion, guilt, and additional loss when they inevitably fail. Consider Patricia, 68, who within 4 months of her husband's death began dating a man from her neighborhood. Initially, his attention felt like relief from crushing loneliness, but she soon realized she wasn't ready. Every conversation brought unwanted comparisons to her late husband, guilt about moving on, quote, of one, and pressure to make decisions about a future she couldn't yet envision. Grief creates vulnerability that unfortunately attracts predatory individuals. Romance scammers specifically target widowed seniors, offering emotional support while gradually manipulating them financially. Even well-meaning suitors may push for commitment before you're truly ready. Healthy relationships require two whole people choosing to share their lives, not someone seeking to fill a void or escape pain. Before considering romance, you need time to rediscover your individual identity apart from being half of a couple. This doesn't mean avoiding human connection entirely. Friendships, community involvement, and family relationships provide companionship without romantic pressure. These connections allow you to practice social engagement while maintaining appropriate boundaries. When you eventually feel ready for romantic consideration, trust your instincts. Anyone pressuring you to commit quickly, make financial decisions, or distance yourself from family and friends likely has questionable motives. Genuine love is patient and never demands urgency. After loss, every possession carries emotional weight. Clothing still holds their scent. Personal items trigger precious memories, and changing anything feels like erasing their existence. Many people keep everything exactly as it was, transforming their homes into monuments to grief rather than spaces for healing. While treasuring meaningful items is natural and healthy, preserving everything indefinitely can trap you in perpetual sorrow. Your living space should nurture your well-being, not amplify your pain with constant reminders of absence. James, 77, kept his wife's belongings untouched for 18 months. Her coffee cup on the counter, her reading glasses on the nightstand, her clothes hanging exactly as she'd left them. Initially, this felt comforting, but over time, these unchanged spaces became sources of fresh pain each day rather than gentle remembrance. When James finally chose a few special items, her wedding ring, a handwritten letter, and their favorite photograph, and carefully stored the rest, he experienced unexpected relief. The preserved items still honored her memory, but his home became livable again. Letting go of possessions doesn't diminish love or disrespect memory. In fact, thoughtfully choosing what to keep often increases the meaning of selected items. Consider creating a memory box with truly significant pieces rather than maintaining entire closets or rooms as they were. Some find comfort in repurposing cherished items, turning favorite clothing into quilts, creating photo albums from collections, or donating items to causes your spouse cared about. This approach maintains connection while allowing positive transformation. Don't let others pressure your timeline. Well-meaning friends or family may suggest you should clear things out, but only you know when you're emotionally ready. Equally important, don't cling to everything from guilt or fear. Sometimes holding on prevents the very healing that would honor your spouse's love for you. Losing your life companion changes everything, but the choices you make during this vulnerable season will shape your remaining years. By avoiding these 5 common pitfalls, making rushed decisions, isolating yourself, neglecting your health, entering relationships prematurely, and preserving everything unchanged, you protect both your immediate well-being and your future possibilities. Grief doesn't follow schedules, and there's no right timeline for healing. But understanding how loss affects your body and mind allows you to make choices that support restoration rather than create additional damage. Remember that moving forward doesn't mean forgetting.
Hello,
and
my
caring
dear
for
friends.
yourself doesn't
Today,
dishonor
I
your
want to share
spouse's memory.
something.
It demonstrates the strength and wisdom they would want you to possess. Your body has remarkable healing capabilities when given proper support. Your heart can find peace again when grief is processed rather than avoided. Your future can hold meaning and even joy when you navigate this season with patience and wisdom. As we conclude, I want to thank you for joining our community today. If this message has touched your heart or provided helpful insights, please share it with someone who might benefit from this information. Take a moment to subscribe to our channel to stay connected with more content focused on natural health and holistic well-being. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these truths resonated most deeply with your experience? Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Until we meet again, remember that every season has its purpose, and even in grief's winter, seeds of hope continue growing beneath the surface.